I have to put it to you, your party's problems go far deeper than can be solved with a rerun of someone who quite recently was rejected by your party.
Good morning, Alistair, and it's always a pleasure to be on your show. I've always been a fan over a very long time. Yes, you are accurate in painting that description of the Conservative Party at the moment, and Boris will know exactly that this is the situation, and he has to be a unifying person and offering his if you like, olive branch, and I know that might be a slightly clumsy way of putting this, but he has to be the unity candidate and the unity leader. And I do believe that his record will show that his way of campaigning amongst the people is that he is able to pull everyone together. So his ability to win in red wall seats, such as mine, that couldn't be more different than some of the leafy constituencies of Surrey or the Shires, that he is able to do that. He has proven that already once, something that no other candidate can do. He does have that electoral mandate that no other candidate can say they have. And that is the reason why I'm backing Boris.
OK, but for those of us listening to us on radio, we put pictures of him at the podium, and earlier in the news bulletin we saw him coming back from holiday, and you will know as well as I that he is damaged goods in the past, and even now he's getting serious flack from grown-up people for saying, well, the party was tearing itself apart and defenestrating Liz Truss. He was sunning himself with his family in the Caribbean. He wasn't even here. He wasn't in the House of Commons. He wasn't a participant. And you say he's a serious candidate and he's the unifying candidate.
Yes, that's right. And sometimes, because when you have that kind of presence, you don't want to be adding fuel to a fire that's burning rather intensely. I think it was the right thing for Boris to keep out any of that. And it was right for Boris to see if there was a call coming from not just MPs, but from the rest of the country to see if they wanted him back. Now, Boris has not declared yet, I should point out. It's many MPs like myself who are imploring him to come back in the interest of the nation. And for me, the main test is that of democracy. You know, I could have chosen to live anywhere in the world and perhaps decide to go into politics anywhere I wanted to. I do have an international background. And I can tell you, the profound connection that we have in this country between you, the voter, Alistair, and me, the politician, cannot be found anywhere else on the planet. These are foundations that were set from Magna Carta and that cannot be found really anywhere else. And every door I knock on, every street corner I turn and bump into people, by a very, very long margin, people are saying, we want Boris back. He was never given a chance. That is who I voted for. And we want now for Boris to come back and at least be given the chance, because he was never given a chance because of COVID, because of Ukraine, and because of how the blob went against him, the institutions and the establishment. He was never given a chance. So This is why I think he's right that Boris comes back, and I hope he does.
You talk about the respect for our system, a system that means that you and your party are clinging to a mandate that was achieved in 2019, albeit under the leadership of Boris Johnson. And the people I listen to on street corners, as you say, you hear lots of folks saying, bring back Boris. I see that on my social media feed as well. But the overwhelming instinct that I'm picking up is, let's have a general election. I just explained in my introduction that unless you guys vote for it, it's not going to happen. But don't you sense out there, honestly, from ordinary folk that they've had enough of this farrago? What Trevor Kavanagh says is, I'm a celebrity, make me Prime Minister.
Yes, I do. And I think that that is a fair comment as well. All I would say is that we have been through unprecedented times. You know, COVID wasn't in any party's manifesto. Boris had to respond to that. Government was pretty much paralysed for 18 months to 2 years. And then Boris did what he did with COVID. He responded as a statesman and led the Western Hemisphere against Putin and his act of aggression in Europe, in Ukraine. You know, all I would say is people will get a general election. It's just a case of when. And for me, Boris does deserve a chance, whatever is left in this term. Give him a chance that was never really given to him, the chance that the people of this country want him to have by an overwhelming majority, certainly in my inbox and the people that I bump into and the people that you yourself recognise. So yes, there is a lot of frustration out there, but it's been MPs every time have come together to take away what the people want. They came together and tried to upset the whole referendum with Brexit. They tried it again in 2019. And every time with Boris, the people were able to have their voice heard. And this is what they are owed, is for their voice to be heard. And they are saying, bring back Boris.